il parle de quelque chose that had been ongoing for a while, un problème qui il pas dit nous soit il dit que fait mon bon temps, mon bon c'est on pas connaît or somebody out there. En effet, étudier madame les relais Charlie, c'est pas un problème. C'est madame qui cause avec qui cause avec. Madame tu parles l'endroit, il se cause madame apparemment. Tu peux dire il savait causer que l'île loin certaines cités, quel problème quand tu peux arriver. Et madame moi quoi tu peux dire, il peut dire comme quoi pour dire pas pour gagner à côté de sortir, tu peux avoir sur une famille l'Amérique. À la fin du jour, mon artisan m'a gagné un sens pour dire que madame ça c'est stand up, moi avant gagner un sens pour dire que les là. So moi c'est madame moi c'est comme ça. Ok. Il y en a au moins un ou deux, trois personnes qui me connaissent. Je ne peux pas dire qui autres connaissent ça, ok? Je n'ai même pas sur le bord, je mentionné pas de conversation comme pour dire. Oui, je dis qu'on peut dire qu'on a un problème avec. Je suis gagné 10 mois avec James Michel. Je ne sais pas qu'on est à cause pour quelle raison, pas pour dire. Ok? C'est madame qui m'a dit que si je cause avec, qui est à l'Amérique, partie de sens, il s'apprend dans mon moment, c'est à l'Amérique. Il y a un phone son bonne famille, il s'est dit, Marjorie Baker infiniment. So, c'est comme ça, apparemment. Et puis, je me rappelle une fois, il y a un grand noir, c'est avec l'Amérique, pas mentionner son nom. Il fait un petit business là-bas, il peut assister dans la boutique, il peut causer, faire une conversation. Et just so happen qu'une conversation avec Cécile, politique, ainsi de suite. Moi, je peux rester côté ça grand noir. Lui-même, il connaît Michel vraiment bien. C'est même mentionnement. Et dis-moi, pour dire, ouais, ça, monsieur qui est là, il ne peut causer là, même qui est responsable pour la mort de maman. Il ne pense dans aucun détail whatsoever. Si je dis ça comme ça. On va se demander une question, parce que c'est comme ça même. Il peut aussi dire ça grand si on plus qui ça, il dit pas envie facile mon mémoire, mon oreille, ainsi de suite. Je ne sais pas connaître. OK? Mais souvent, il dit moi ça. Aussi, à part qui moment dit, si vous avez un problème avec James Michel, ça grand si vous dites, vous dites, à part moment, ça peut dire James Michel est responsable pour le moment. OK? So, quand on a un temps là, pour dire la raison, c'est comment maille. OK. All right. Voilà quoi la pause. Excusez. Bon, on peut tourner un coup là, ça 16 pages là, qui dit L-shape room là. Ça lettre qui le gars écrit dans celle numéro 3, code garde central. Ici dit point un copie, donne avec ministre Berry, ça l'état là. And Judge Seaton, après N son avocat, Mr. Nathan. Et puis N pour délivrer personnellement dans la main Albert René lui-même. Ça, lui qui c'est comme ça fait, pas mon pays, mon référence sur ça qui est écrit. Le autre pouvoir vous dire dans son fingerprint avec son signature, lui qui écrit ça. Pas mon tantine, pas mon c'est pas personnel, lui qui écrit. OK? Il explique, il dit comme quoi pour dire, il est threatened par ça ban monde qui tu prend un hazo soir, tu prend mener pas faire autre mission. Il pas si non ban monde apparemment il dit vous dit pas tu connais non ça ban monde, pas tu connais ça ban monde. Donc si c'est bien que tu expliques ou écouter à part qui Douglas lui-même qui s'est condamné, il tient en il mentionne pour dire toi les autres du monde dans ça l'autre ça soir ensemble avec lui. Ça va les autres du monde pas nous jamais condamné rien qui c'est dans rien. Et si mon esprit serve moi bien, il y a une possibilité pour dire encore non, N peut-être encore ça dit monde qui est encore là, sans moi pas là. Sans moi pas connaître. Je me comprends. Je suis certain lui, aussi comme ça peut dire si il y a dit, il y a mentionné qui ne passe ça ce soir de sa loto, sans l'incident, sans moment qui se tient pas livre avec mon moment, c'est dans Northeast Point quand tu vas faire d'autres bonnes affaires concernées. Autres pour tout lui, ça sont petit pour moi. Je même dit on comprend qu'il y a écrit dans sa lettre pour dire parler si mon disparaît, ça gagne tout. Certainement ça. Pour aux gens on pas connaître à cause. OK? Regardez dans des informations même on comprend. Il y a un appel mon carte son nom s'il vous plaît. Vous autres non? Il écrit dans sa lettre ça. Nous sommes des solutions ici. Il y a une fille qui s'appelle Suzanne, après un garçon qui s'appelle Alain. Je dis tout certains livres pour tous sont des petits devant lui. Je te dis ça. Il écrit de son lettre là. OK? Il dit, le commencement, c'est qu'il fait sa lettre. Il dit, pour dire, ça dit monde qui est vraiment, vraiment responsable pour ça l'incident qui est arrivé. Ça dit monde qui a vu ça l'incident, the whole thing, tu commences avec. L'État qui commence à écrire sa lettre, il s'est écrit ça son nom, ça dit monde là. Après, il s'est scribble ça non. Mon quoi, c'est la frayeur, pendant que dit monde connaît, quand tu connais, pour dire, par exemple, il m'appelle, il dit, si il a dit, cause, pour tout, c'est son petit. Son scribble là, mon quoi, 2-3 fois. Somewhere down the lines, dans sa lettre, il a écrit sa lettre, il dit, mais tout le monde, à la fin du jour, pour qu'on ait ça dit, vous dites autres. Il veut écrire dans ça dit. OK? So, à part que sa lettre, sa lettre qui est dans 16 pages, là, il y a un petit lettre qui est écrit, il t'a envoyé contre mon grand-papa. Mon quoi, ce petit lettre, il y a une petite référence pour faire sa lettre qui est dans 16 pages, là. Qui mon quoi, mon bon tantine conseiller va dire autres. Qui m'a dit qu'on aime. Ici, ici vraiment, vraiment en colère. Qui dit, mon spell Belly as being the murderer of Marjorie Baker. It's a threat to the cause, pour ça, nous affaires qu'il fait ainsi de suite. Il dit, il dit ça, il dit, while ici dans le casseau là-bas, il finit à accuser ainsi de suite, while the actual person who's vraiment responsable pour sa situation qui s'est arrivée, qui s'est commencé avec lui, l'idée peut roam around, peut se bon Dieu. Pareil, bon Dieu, là-bas, il dit OK. L'aime là, tu prends copie de sa lettre, il s'est délivré, même jour, même après qu'il s'est écrit. Et quelqu'un qui s'est donné la lettre, je ne sais pas connaître. Nous, nous avons sa lettre avec un ami, la famille, qui s'est causé la plus tard. Il dit de son lettre comme quoi, pour dire un petit bout de détail là. Pour dire, il s'est recevoir un phone call, le mercredi octobre, le 3 octobre, from the Hadimoun qui s'est écrit dans sa lettre. Environ 1h45 au matin. Il dit, il s'est pris pour recevoir un phone call from Hadimoun lui-même, the actual person qui s'est envoyé faire la bonne mission. Qui s'est envoyé faire la bonne mission. OK? Il dit son request à Timoun sounded very sincere, il est cause de clé au téléphone. À cause de mon pas. Il écrit ça dans sa lettre là, mais il y a toute sa lettre pour écrire lui-même. Il dit apparemment, Marjorie gagne massé dans 8h midi soir. Pick-up point, supposé Northeast Point. Là-bas, ça. Il dit, même de racine, même ligne, pour réaliser sur les autres listes, pour dire, ça nous a dit, qui dit, on va faire une bonne mission, c'est ce soir, il y a un cross de sa lettre, qui veut être une cross ça nous a dit de sa lettre, qui après, il a ici montré, il dit lui-même, ici, que ça nous a dit, bien clair. Il dit, réunion Hadimoun, qui se pour connaître plus tard, l'école Hadimoun, qui se pour apprendre sa raison à cause plus tard. Le statement. at the end of the statement, qui était écrit dans sa lettre. Il dit comme ça, comme quoi pour dire, pour une raison ou une autre, l'État, ça doit dire de te séparer, de te drop les côtes, les glaces, quand tu restes, tu peux monter ça là avec dans l'auto. C'est une séparation là, à ce moment-là. Tu lèves les côtes, il dit, l'état l'auto, tu peux aller, ça veut dire que tu servis pour ça, mission que tu peux faire. Et tu manages pour catch license plate ça l'auto. Merci. Apparemment, tu n'es pas sous à ce soir. Mais si tu as la license plate, il est beau, assez réfléchir, il imagine sa license plate. Et tu prends sa license plate number, et tu mets dans l'enveloppe séparée. Il n'y a pas de faire que ça lettre qu'il a, ou anything else. Séparé. Même quand on comprend, tu prends sa lettre, ça l'enveloppe, et tu prends dans l'albert, tu imagines un petit peu plus tard, dans une libération, mais il y a des cas qu'on comprend, shed some light, ça va non, ça va dire ou soit ça license plate number, qui est écrit dans papier. Ça, il dit ça. Il dit comme ça pour dire, ça jour soir, après tout une all said and done, ça va dire tu drop majorité glacée dehors dans l'auto. Quand tu sont la case devant lui, de hard drive pour la banlieue, que son match resté glacé. Et moi, je connais que bon, il est dans le droit. Dans la banlieue, il est plus fort, il dit, on croit qu'il y a un dedans, il n'est pas sûr, il a acheté de l'avaran pour faire son raisonnement, ainsi de suite. Pour juste un petit peu plus tard, qui est frappé dehors, la porte la case contre son maman, quand il était un petit peu dormi en dedans. Son maman qui s'est levé, qui s'est répondu à la porte, tu dis, tu viens de lever de glace pour dire, il y a la police dehors là. Il dit, apparemment, ça ne veut pas dire de consigner quelque chose qui monte en ici, pas dire aussi matin. Il dit, comme ça, il dit, il y a des gens qui disent, ça c'est des de glace, mais quand il y a des officiers de la police qui disent ça, d'après mon comprendre. Il dit, stand de glace, dit, out loud, les temps, son man dit, la police dehors, il dit, ah, mon fait tout le monde dit, désolé avec moi. Il y a quelque chose comme ça. Pas pour agir aussi vrai si matin. Mais seulement, il veut dire, à côté de la porte, mon quoi c'est des officiers bananes, mon quoi ça officiers, mon quoi une mort pour toi de mon comprendre. Je dis tu prends lui, tu amènes mon quoi côté code garde glacé. Then the rest pas tout cas dire qui n'arrive pour ce qui ça. So moi paraît le même pour les moments, je passe la parole avec mon sœur et pour tantine là-bas, je t'ai choisi de donner quelqu'un avec cause avant. So thank you.
Thank you. Please, do you want questions at the end of everything, or do you want to receive any questions?
Pilar? Okay. I'll do it later.
Okay.
Thank you.
So please continue.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Bonjour, tout le monde, commission. Bonjour, tout le monde, commission. Bonjour, tout le monde à l'écoute. Mon nom est Mona Rose King, né Salaman. Mon enfant Marjorie Baker, qui a été dans la nuit septembre, 5 à 6 septembre 1986. Mon maman est mariée avec nos papas, William Salaman. Il y a 3 enfants. Betty May Salaman, nos grands-sœurs, Joanne, Kevin Salaman, qui l'a au bord moi et moi-même. Nous avons grandi l'arrivée anglaise et un peu de temps aussi Grenis, d'abord 70s. Après, en 1980, nous avons la Louise, nous avons resté la Louise, moi avec ma maman. Après, divorce mon maman avec mon papa, dans les early 70s, nous vivons avec nos mamans seulement. Après un peu de temps, je suis au courant que ma maman était en relation avec Douglas Sedas. Plus tard, dans l'année 70s, Douglas Timove est venu rester avec ma maman, ensemble avec nous, pour un peu de temps. Relation de maman avec Douglas, il partit qui stable, par mon frère inexpliqué. C'est un autre bon ups and downs. Et moi-même, je witness quelque chose qui est arrivé par mon frère inexpliqué. Il fait quelque chose, des fois, par exemple, un peu malice qui. Et il y en a, maman dit peut-être il forme pas quelque chose, des fois qui arrive dans bonne relation, mais seulement il partit quelque chose qui est nice. Après, souvent, il fallait faire ça quelque chose, il y a des moments qui te demandent pardon, pareil pour acheter un carte, pour dire sorry, il peut manger, il peut mettre la table avec candlelight dinner, connaît. Après seulement, ça quelque chose, il gagne répéter, connaît. Après 1977, mon maman s'est séparée avec Douglas. Et j'ai acheté la case La Louise dans les 1980s. Je suis restée avec La Louise. Je l'ai fait sortir que mon maman et Douglas ils travaillent ensemble contre Radio Cécile. Ça s'appelle Radio Cécile. Avant 1977. Ils ont déjà encore en relation avec notre travail ensemble en France. Pour un de l'année. Mon maman et Douglas aussi, tu gagnes demandé pour travailler au coup d'État de 1977. Les autres, ça des gens qui opèrent Radio Cécile, ça l'étant les 5 juin 1977. Les mamans ont annoncé le radio qu'il y a un coup d'État de pays. Ça l'étant, moi, j'ai 13 ans. Et il partit un moment facile pour moi. Je dis ça à cause pour voir maman peut sortir puis aller avec des gens avec physique ou pas comprendre qui peut arriver, nous avons besoin d'espérer dans la nuit. Écouter ce que les autres, après que nous avons une radio ouverte, que nous connaissons quoi, pour nous connaissons pour dire là, Atlas, je suis sur la voie, je connais pour dire là, il est vivant, il est encore vivant. Et ça a été soutenu moi un peu. Mais seulement, il partit quelque chose de facile pour witness ça. À ça, l'état, il était dans la nuit, je parti vraiment connaître lesquels. Ça veut dire, mais seulement, tu dis remarquer, comprends? Oui, tu vois, il peut aller. Ça est parti quelque chose de facile pour moi. Après le coup d'État, mon maman, souvent le temps de travail, quand Radio Cécile, il partit un qui était facile pour lui. À cause plusieurs fois, elle était sortie de travail, mon petit temps lit, puis cause avec mon grand-maman, et dit que James Michel, que ça était ministre de l'information, tu peux rendre sur la vie un peu difficile de travail. Comme maman, ça l'était, mon parti vraiment concentré, écoute beaucoup de conversations qui peut passer, mais seulement, moi, tu comprends un peu quoi qui peut cause là. Après, je m'avale un peu la mort de mon maman lui-même. Le 5 septembre 1986, je suis dans la cour. Je suis resté là, Louise, avec mon maman, seulement nous deux qui sommes restés là, Louise. Mon sœur Betty est resté Greenwich. Mon frère Johan est en Amérique. Le 5 septembre 1986, après 4 heures après-midi. Les moti peut virer de la case, téléphone qui sonne. Moti prend téléphone. La voix un homme, et la voix bien arrogant et dit moi, ma cause avec ma adjori. Moi dit il parle. Il coupe téléphone. À peu près un demi-heure de temps plus tard, téléphone il sonne encore. Même la voix, il dit ma cause avec ma adjori. Moi répond, moi dit il pas encore arrivé. Plus tard encore, peut-être à peu près un temps plus tard, téléphone il sonne encore. Même la voix encore bien arrogant, il dit moi, ma adjori pas encore arrivé. Je demande lui, mais lequel qui peut causer? Il répond moi. Il pose un petit coup. Après il dit, Antonio Baudouin. Je reste tranquille, je écoute. À cause de ça, la voix, il partit la voix, M. Baudouin. M. Baudouin, il dit qu'il travaille avec mon maman pour un peu de temps. Il y a des fois que je suis à côté de Cécile là-bas, je suis à ma maman. Mon temps, M. Baudouin, quand je peux causer en conversation avec mon maman, ça, il passe à la voix du tout qui me connaît. Et ça, la voix, il prend ni la voix de glace. À cause de glace, il vit avec nous. Je connais bien son la voix, son tonation la voix. Il partit en rien pour faire avec ça, la voix qui me connaît. Alors, ça dit mon ligne, coupe téléphone. Plus tard, les mamans est venue. Il était à peu près après 6h30 du soir. Ça joue, il rentré un peu tard, ça joue. Moi dit, il tient dans sa phone call qui est entré. Mais il partit de mon rien. Ça l'étant le programme télévision, tient un programme enfants Tom Sawyer. Qui est passé naturellement, il passe devant pas de 10 soir sa programme. Mon maman, il get sa programme Tom Sawyer. Il était assis et tiré depuis le commencement jusqu'à la finition. Jusqu'à là, sa programme est fini. Après, un petit moment après, le téléphone sonne. Mon maman prend un téléphone. Je ne sais pas si qui cause le téléphone. Après, il allait la chambre, il prend la clé sur l'auto. Il dit, moi comme ça, je peux sortir un petit moment, après je peux retourner. Ça, je suis capable de dire à peu près, peut-être après 7h30, un petit peu après 7h30 hier soir. Je suis resté contre la case, il y a une vieille madame qui restait là même, au bord de nous. Il n'a pas de télévision, il vient de télévision contre nous. Je suis assis avec lui, nous de télévision. Après un certain temps, il dit, moi comme ça, tu n'arrives 9h du soir. Lui-même, il a madame un petit peu drôle qui m'a mis par là à cause. Mon maman il pas dit mon qui pose sortir là pour rien du tout. Il peut aller si il gagne invité à l'endroit, mais c'est tout le temps il de la cour à part qui tient le travail, il tout le temps de la cour. Lui-même sa madame il dit mon bé il t'appelle maman mademoiselle. Il dit bé mademoiselle pourquoi arriver? Moi dit bé non. Il compte tout de même à 6h jusqu'à 10h du soir, il a télévision, après il décide d'aller dormir. So, moi aussi, tout le monde a télévision, on a dormi à cause de mon petit peu de travail, le lendemain. Sometimes, dans la nuit, je ne sais pas trop quelle est exactement. Le téléphone sonne. Moi, dans mon sommeil, je ne sais pas quoi, je suis rêver, seulement en même temps. Le téléphone sonne pour quantité de temps. Par exemple, je peux dire que je l'école, je vraiment réveillé de mon sommeil. Je cause tout seul. Je dis, ben, mamie, à cause de ne pas répondre à téléphone. Sans qu'on ait qui parti là, mon levé, moi aller, moi prendre sa téléphone, moi répondre. Moi t'entends Jimmy Baker. Il dit mon mais na au lycée à cause de tu dis mon misère, tout ban c'est frère, je t'appelle maman c'est à cause des petits plus grands c'est. Par exemple, moi dit les bébés dormi, sans qu'il me la guette dans la chambre à cause moi tu quoi il retourner. Par exemple, t'as dit midi mon bien guette dans la chambre, les dames aller dans la chambre, moi aller livre vide. Par exemple, moi dit les bébés livre, ben il pas là. Par exemple, il dit moi ben guette dehors sur son loto. Moi aller moi guette dehors, moi dit ben loto pas là. Par exemple, il dit moi comme ça ben pas ouvrir la porte avec personne. Rester là même, espérer n'a pas venir côté. Au moment où on met le téléphone à terre, mon tatine Florence, c'est un qui là-bas, il colle moi. Il dit moi au lycée, m'a dit libé, il parle là, pour exemple, m'a dit libé, t'as 10 minutes, fait colle moi là, il peut demander moi. Pour exemple, il dit moi comme ça, ben rester là même espérer. En même temps, le temps il peut demander moi, m'a dit si moi pas connais côté qui est capable aller, m'a dit libé non. C'est l'endroit qui m'a imaginé qui est capable d'aller, qui est un ami qui des fois il a le code lit et madame que c'est dans l'area la Louise pas trop loin avec nous il appelle madame Louise moi t'imagine peut-être il est là-bas pour ça moi dit peut-être il est là-bas pour ça moi tante dit moi bécole ça madame guette tout de même mon prend le téléphone après que moi fini cause avec ma tantine moi colle là-bas écoute ça madame mon garçon il c'est madame il peut dormir son garçon il dit moi comme ça non madame moi tu cause qu'il y a après il dit moi ben non moi peut expliquer un petit peu là qui colle qui maman recevoir avec ma tantine avec mon tonton il dit moi peut venir ça madame Pantade il arrive côté moi avec son fille. Après que Martin finit cause avec mon tonton, avec mon tantine, là qui m'a senti pour dire quelque chose de mal qui va arriver avec ma maman à cause. Je dis simplement, dis-moi, pas ouvrir la porte avec personne, espère que les autres peuvent venir contre moi. So, je senti pour dire quelque chose de mal qui est arrivé là. Laissez madame, il arrive contre moi, elle est avec son fille, il a assise à la table, nous trois. Sa madame, il prend un téléphone, il téléphone, si moi pas trompé, il code garde glace, non, ou bien code garde central, moi pas trop assuré, mais seulement, il y en a après code garde boval, on croit qu'il colle, mais seulement, il y en a un code garde qui te donne l'information. Et moi, tu vois, ça soque le son figure. Le temps, tu peux causer le téléphone. Et tu restes tranquille pour un moment, le téléphone. Après, il met sa téléphone à terre. Shockingly, moi, quoi, ça, madame, il pas vraiment connaît aussi. Qui m'a eu pour penser ça? C'est ce qui me rappelle, il dit, moi. Maintenant, au moment où il mort. Ça a été un choc pour moi. C'est le moment par contre écoute qui m'a tiré à coise. Nous assisons nous trois à la table. Après, ma tante est venue. Il vient cesse nous. Nous descendons de la case mort. Les nous arrivons de la case mort, c'est ma tante, ma bonne cousine, qui vient sortir, qui vient holiday, sont des filles. Nous tous qui là, amis. Le temps ça dit monde de la case mort, il ouvert sa tiroir, juste nous aller la peut dormir. Tout le monde commence à pleurer. C'est vraiment un choc pour nous tous. Pour me voir aller là un petit coup avec mon bonnet et il peut tellement rire pour que ça programme un seul coup là où aller comme ça. Il pas un moment facile du tout. Je me rappelle de son pied, de son sandalet, il tient dans 10 sables. Et de son licou, un dimanche que c'est pas les boutons bas, et tu vis son licou comme ça. Il tient un gros trou là, ça couteau qui tient à l'intérieur de son licou là. Et parti vraiment dans 10 sables bien bien sorti à cause la plupart du satin fini coulé. Ça est sa première blessé couteau qui m'a tiré de mon délisier. Seulement après il m'a tiré un des autres, mais il tient 7 coups de couteau là. Après que nous sorti la case bas, nous la de la case après procédure d'autopsie qui gagne faire. Et monsieur docteur plutôt docteur Fabian Martin Oti qui écrit sa résultat de l'autopsie, mais seulement son it medley comme multiple stabbing cause of death. Cardiopulmonary arrest. Ok. Après que l'autopsie est passée, nous pouvons faire procédure pour faire l'enterrement. Nous faisons l'arrosement pour prendre les corps. Ça donne le temps traditionnellement. Nous corps expose nous disons qui mort quand nous la cour. Nous faisons procédure pour mettre sur les corps de la case. Et pour exposer, nous amènons de la case mon tantine qui est là. Pour exposer, nous amènons un samedi après-midi. À cause de la terre, tu fais son dimanche lendemain bon matin. Oui, dimanche lendemain bon matin. Plusieurs dimanches, tu viens, amis, famille, tu viens pour venir sympathiser, pour venir dans d'autres collègues, de la case. Après, plus tard, dans la nuit, dans 10 heures du soir, plusieurs dimanches qui viennent à côté d'autres pour te reposer. Ce côté de la case, tu as plus nos familles et un des amis prises. Dans la nuit, je me rappelle, à un moment, tu viens. Dans la nuit, je me rappelle, tu viens. MC Raymond Bonté. Ça, c'est dans le milieu de la nuit. Avec mon tantine, tu vois, Rolly Marie. Raymond Bonté, il est venu, il est entré dans la case. Il prend un 16 d'un coin, il est assisé. Je ne sais pas si cause avec des gens en dedans. Je dit, il cause avec un petit moment dehors. Rolly Marie, il est resté dehors, il n'est pas entré dans la case.
Juste une petite clarification. Ça, l'étang, les corps, tu peux exposer
L'étang, les corps, tu peux exposer dans le milieu de la nuit, oui.
Ok.
Moi seulement, Vraiment bon moi tu vois ali. Ou li mari li. Moi tatine qui dit moi étudier. Il a assisé là pour un bon peu de temps, on est capable de dire plus que demi-temps. Après, il dit se lever, il a allé. Mais seulement, nous donnons le temps morning, mon peut concentrer avec mon maman qui est là, qui est exposé. Nous pas donner l'attention à quelque chose. Mais seulement après ça, entre nos familles, nous pouvons demander les questions. Le présent ça de 10 monde. Malgré nous partis vraiment connaître, à cause de la mort qui ne fait qu'arriver, nous tu vois, il y a un petit peu de rôle pour nous, en tout cas. Seulement après, nous disons quelque chose comme ça même, à cause. Il pas un moment facile pour aller pour aller de l'information ou bien pour dire beaucoup.
Yes.
Ça ben le temps nous parti vraiment comme si Costas là mon maman. Il y a quelque chose qui ne fait qu'arriver, so nous avons besoin de s'attendre, écouter, espérer. Mais après beaucoup par mon frère il dit ben quelque chose il va faire, Douglas il va accuser, qu'est-ce qui passe en cours, bien après avec toutes les autres informations que vous pouvez gagner. Présent ça il fait vous demande question. Anyway, là on est allé, il passe comme ça, jusqu'à aujourd'hui que nous à nous là. Nous sommes capables de causer pour se gagner un peu l'éclaircissement. Pour nous comme famille, il y a quelque chose de difficile, très choquant. Il y a quelque chose qui fait mal qui il arrive un seul coup comme ça. Pour mon grand-maman avec mon grand-papa, il n'est pas si facile pour eux du tout. Pour mes femmes, mon grand-papa pleurait comme ça. À cause de ma maman, il son fille qui était vraiment close avec. Et mon grand-maman, il cause le mon maman. Presque, ou capable de dire presque tous les jours. Ça a vraiment affecté lui. Après mon grand-papa a gagné un document qui part of ça document ça lettre qui m'a fait parce que là que Douglas tin écrit ça document ti gagné envoyé code nous la cour pour mon grand-papa. Mais seulement on pas connaît lequel a dit mon qui t'amène ça code nous. On pas connaît qui m'a ça pas petit vini. Le glace vivait avec nous pour un peu de temps. Mon noir écrit. Mon console écrit et mon capable de dire pour dire ça exactement. Pareil sur l'écriture. Ça va bien essayer d'expliquer un petit peu quoi qui t'est arrivé. Pareillement dit, is this part of ça document qui m'a fait parce que là haban lettre qui écrit. Mon quoi, je donne une copie. Ça. Le temps passé, l'année passée, beaucoup quelque chose nous entendait. Seulement quand tu peux aller, pour capable aller clair si ça donne quelque chose, nous pas qu'on écoute pas aller à cause il pas un moment facile que nous peux vivre là pour dire ou pas mettre ça donne quelque chose devant ou pas connaître qu'il y a quelque chose pour dérouler. Et seulement on dit merci Seigneur, tout quelque chose il y a pour une raison qui est l'opportunité de donner pour nous capable venir là devant pour nous causer aujourd'hui. Peut-être avec la grâce bon Dieu, nous sommes capables de connaître quelque chose qui nous passe. S'il y en a anything en plus qui ça qui nous connaissons. Ok, les motivés en vacances en 2010, sorry. Je suis à l'Angleterre, je suis resté. Mais un peu de temps après, je suis motivé en vacances. Un ami pour ça avec nos familles. Ici, dans ça document, combien de pages?
16 pages.
16 pages. Qui m'a fait une cause là, un ami, nos familles, ils dans ce document. Et après ça, là, même qu'il est en sa procédure, enregistrement pour venir devant pour les autres qui nous go ahead avec ça. Il y a beaucoup qui ont écrit dans ce document. Nous sommes contents si ce document est capable de lire au clair, qui public, ça va connaître, quoi qu'il ait dit là. Et c'est vraiment pas connaître si nous avons l'opportunité pour type ce document. Tout le monde a l'opportunité pour faire ça.
It's in. Oh, sorry. We have actually written it out. We have transcribed it. So I don't know whether you could read it, Michael, in Creole. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tu peux aller, il écrit en anglais.
Il écrit en anglais.
Où aller?
Non, pourquoi aller?
Peut-être tu
Yeah.
es capable
Do
de
you
lire.
read it for you?
Yeah. If you can read
Sure, I
it.
can read
Yeah. Yeah. The English you can read in Creole.
If it's in English, preferably in English.
Okay.
It is in English, isn't it?
It's in yeah.
It's okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Hello? Moi, non, ça va. Okay. Ready? Okay. Okay. I take the steps that I have been dredging for so long. Today, I'm starting to write down wherever the opportunity arises, what I know and what happened in the murder of Marjorie Baker, a woman I highly appreciate for her intelligence and outlook on life. I'm going to write these things on every spare space available in this book, so if anybody wants to know, you will have to turn page by page and follow the number from 1 to the end. As you will see, this page has been given number 1. Tear this book page by page and make photocopies. Give one to Minister Ogilvy Louis, one to Judge Sitton, and one to President Rene personally. I no longer care what happened. I no longer care about what happened to me, what happens to me, and me any longer. They can torture or kill me for much as I care, but Please do not let them murder my children, Suzanne and Ale, in front of me as they have threatened. My handwriting is awful because I'm writing with the refill of a ballpoint pen, the book on my knee, and keeping a sharp lookout for the police officer who comes around because it is forbidden to be in possession of a pencil and ballpoint pen in cell number 3 and all other cell here. Fortunately, I picked up this refill on the ground outside. There is one person who knows very much about why and how Margie died, and this devil take his soul. No one is going to believe it because it might be one big scandal that will split our whole society into pieces. I never wanted to see such thing happen, but due to the present circumstances, I have to stop acting like a coward. I have to stop being afraid. I have to stand up, dignified as true son to my motherland, and expose and fight what I have now realized to be very angry. Wait a second, sorry. All right, sorry. I'll go back a little bit. I'm sorry?
You skipped a line.
I'll go back to the number 3. This devil take his soul. No one is going to believe it because it might be one big scandal that will split our whole society to pieces. I never want to see such thing happen, but due to the present circumstances, I have to stop acting like coward. I have to stop being afraid. I have to stand up, dignified as true son to my motherland, and expose and fight what I have now. He says, probably realize, I believe it is, to be very, except it doesn't say wrong here, excuse me. This line doesn't say, it says angry, it doesn't say wrong, sorry. Anyway, very angry, knowing that the people of Seychelles is labeling me as the murderer and traitor to the cause. While he roams around and playing God, and I rot here in cell 3, the very devil itself. By the way, my lawyer, Mr. Nathan, must also have a photocopy of this, if possible. Deliver all copies the same day. If, in the end, I have to run away from my country, I will do so, to live and fight another day. I received a phone call from, there's supposed to be a name there which they scribbled. On Wednesday, the 3rd October 1986, around 1:45 a.m. As my phone number is not in the directory, I was more than surprised to receive a call from scribble name. This time, his request sounded sincere. He had reason to believe that Margie had certain information vital to the regime and that she was withholding them. Knowing that she was working with the security, he believed that she might also be acting as a double. It is not made just to bring her. Okay, sorry. It is not made just to bring her in for interrogation. It might create a lot of problems, as she was also a secret lover of the president, and why I had to found to the question her so that all evidence would point to an outside organization. There was no talk of murdering her. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone along with him. All he wanted was to throw in an amount of fright that might make her talk. He knew that I was seeing her, so it might be easy for me to lure her in to come to a place under the disguise of holding something. I was reluctant, but finally I gave in. Under his persuasion, I'll be doing an immense service to our society, and that where she could be picked up under the disguise of a hold-up or something. My cooperation will be forgotten. Sorry, my cooperation will be forgotten. I already was a member of the group who worked on the night of the 4th and 5th of June, 1977. So doing something more in view of strengthening the revolution was something I could not refuse. I was supposed to have met Marjorie on the night of the 29th of August, but our meeting had to be postponed for the following Friday, the 5th, because I was busy working with the SPPF committee for the North Regions Festival, which ended Sunday, September 1st. Northeast Point was agreed to be the picking spot between 8:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. If, however, there was a change on my part, I was going to phone, I guess so-and-so. If you want If he wasn't in, his secretary would pass the message, program won't be ready till such and such date, when we would contact each other later and fix another date. As it turned out to be, nothing changed my meeting with Marjorie and her appointment with Death. You will, of course, realize that I have crossed out the name of the person. You will know the person at the end of the statement. Marjorie will let me drive her car wherever we go, together. Said, come on, big boy. It's time for your driving lessons. I felt like a heel, knowing that I was going to drive her to Northeast Point. We had spent about 45 minutes in the old Secom car park opposite your club when I took over the wheel from her. I parked the car as close as I could estimate to the spot agreed over the phone. We had been drinking some wine and listening to some music when they came. I may say that their act was very convincing to Marjorie, if not to me. They flashed a powerful torch in our faces and asked what we were doing there. I said that we were having some wine, listening to some music. They asked us out of the car and searched inside. After that, the one who was acting like the leader, and we have to come. Sorry, and said we have to come down for interrogation. Marjorie protested, but it was their order to bring in people forward in this vicinity for questioning tonight. Two sat in the back seat. One drove while Marjorie occupied the front passenger seat. That was the last time I saw her alive or dead. The two in the back seat were carrying guns, which I presume to be the type issued to local army personnel. I was ordered to stand against the car so that they could search me, so I could be searched. I started to feel uneasy because I had a weapon hidden on me. It is a black-handled knife in a homemade rubber sheath. On the right leg, just above my socks. I will explain about the knife later. I told them what the knife was for, then asked inside their car. In the back seat between the one in charge and the other, and another one with a gun on my left, the third one drove in the direction of town. A bit further down the road, the man in charge asked the driver to turn on the rubbish turned on the rubbish dump at Saint Antoine, Ocetoile. I started to sense that something was wrong, and I asked where we were going. And I felt the cold steel across my neck, and I knew it was the barrel of a gun. In fact, it was a pistol. And he said, "Shut up." I asked the questions. I was very, very scared, and I started to regret my involvement in the whole thing. We got out, back against the car, one on the other side of me, with the chief facing me. There was no visible weapon of any sort with the driver. They wanted to know what I've been talking about with Marjorie, and what was I doing with the knife. I was punched once below the navel, and I was called a liar. I was angry, but I knew that it would be foolish to resist. I repeated my story, pleaded with them to believe me. Finally, the one in charge said, "Okay, but one word out of you about what took place tonight, and that be the end of you and your daughter." I was reminded that sometimes people just disappear or found dead somewhere. I was more scared when I thought back on certain events that occurred here in the past. I was ordered back in the car. I still didn't believe a word when they are bringing me home at Glassy. I occupied the same place, and nothing was said until we reached the place where I live. When I was once reminded of what will happen if I don't keep my mouth shut. They knew where I live because the car stopped right in front of the drive to my house. I was relieved when the one on my left got out, and I could step out of the car. "Go home and don't forget what you've been told," he said. And as I turned, I was hit in the small of the back of doesn't make any sense. I was hit in the small of the back, and I knew it was the butt of a rifle. There you go. I stumbled forward, and as I started to leave, I managed to catch the car's number. My mind was in a whirl when I sat down under the house veranda, trying to sort out things. There was some brandy at hand, and I took to the bottle. I must have gotten myself very drunk, because next I remember was my mother waking me up in my bed and saying something like, "The police." I remember coming downstairs, half asleep, still drunk. I washed my face in the toilet and coming out to see 3 or 4 police officers in the house. One whom I know by the name Banan asked me if I know Marjorie Baker. I said, I knew then and there that something nasty had happened. I said, yes. Why? She said, she's dead. He said, I could feel myself spinning away into nothingness. And I felt very cold. Someone wiped my face with a damp cloth and gave me something to drink. I don't know what it was, but I must have passed out, because next I was in the cell at Glassy Police Station. I tried to recall the previous night, and I just couldn't understand or believe that it was happening to me. I heard people talk about shock before, and if this is what shock is all about, spare me the experience next time. It was all sort of a bad dream Nothing was real because nothing of this magnitude could have happened at all. And moreover to me. And I was very scared of what I knew. Later on, the police brought me to the hospital. On my way down, I saw where Margie's car was parked. It was not very far from where I lived. In fact, it was within distance from my house. I didn't want the doctor to examine me. I was aggressive, scared, not being able to put things together. When I got back to Glassy Police Station, I had a visit from Banan, who told me Margie had been stabbed 3 times in the chest, that they had found a black-handled knife in the car, and also a bottle of some wine in it. He added that they knew I had bought 2 bottles of this particular brand previous day in the shop opposite my house. In the afternoon, they brought me down to the Central Police Station, Victoria. The last thing they did to me in the CID office was to take my clothes off. In different circumstances, I wouldn't have mind to be naked, but this one was as if I was being stripped off. I was being stripped off the lust, something of that nature. Okay. Of lust, of last shred of hope and dignity a man has. It was written all over the faces of my tormentors. They wanted to hear a good story, one that would say I did the murder. So I gave them one. But whoever read the statement I gave to the police, it has a bit of a gray matter. Gray matter will see straight away that it's a cockbull story. At least they were satisfied and did not beat me up as they have been doing to the other suspects at that time. I never told them the story because I didn't know who was working for whom, even to my lawyer. I gave him a different kind of a story to that even to the police. I had kept all away from the real thing because other people's lives were at stake. Today, Monday, 9th November 86, I want to say that after going over past event and trying to the whole situation, I guess it's sort out the situation, I finally gave a tape-recorded statement to the President Rene. I also sent a sealed envelope. I finally gave the tape-recorded statement to President Rene. I also sent a sealed envelope with the name of the person who phoned me on Wednesday, 3rd of September, and the car's number inside. The car number inside. I hope he puts these things to good use because so much is at stake where the security of our country depends. The envelope was made on Wednesday, November 5th, in the Office Department Commissioner Louise. On Friday, November 7th, I went to see my lawyer, and again I made a similar statement, which he recorded on tape. The name of the person and the car number. I told him verbally, I am fully aware that by giving them this information, it will give them ample time to prepare a rock-solid alibi for James Michel. I repeat, Mr. James Michel. And his thugs, but at least people of Seychelles, and maybe the world at large will know by and by what has been happening and what is happening here. The pride I once had in contributing to the overthrow of Mancam is now bitter. The idea for a better society is now bitter. With barely gone, the road is now wide open for James Michel to take over, and I repeat, for James Michel to take over. And if I am not mistaken, it won't be long before René finds himself on the receiving end of the stick. I guess we all know James Michel will never accept the fact that if I am now in this tight spot, it's because of that fateful phone call of his. I repeat, the fact that I am now in this tight spot, it is because of that fateful phone call of his. I also think that the death of Marjorie must have been something they didn't plan, because I don't think that they would have let me go. It must have been their last to frame it on me. After all, they had my knife, fingerprint, the car, and the body. I do not have concrete evidence against him and his group. I don't know people, but I am. If ever I came across the three of them who stayed with me, I will know their faces. I now await the beatings and other mode of torture, which I think will be coming my way, because I have somehow managed to get these pages out of my cell under their noses. But we all know everybody has a price. I hope that what I have written will help throw some such needed light on the circumstances involved in the murder of Marjorie Baker. The thumbprints analyzed and proven that are that of mine. That's it.
Ok, si permette-moi, capable continuer encore un bout, là, ça comme un petit peu cause là avant. Je te dis que maman m'a dit, il y a des gens qui travaillent les 5 ans, 77. Et tu annonces coup d'État avec la radio. Et mon un document là qui m'a capable de donner une copie. Ça, il y a un document qui maman m'a dit, il y a un portrait, il y a des gens qui sont dans le coup d'État, qui peuvent travailler ça.
Ça veut dire bon, pas jusqu'au Radio Cécile, ça.
Non, ça y ça groupe de monde comme si un client qui peut travailler et plusieurs de monde qui peut travailler ça pas pour Radio Cécile seulement non.
Ok.
Oui, c'est capable, oui. Après, je cause le certificat la mort. Et il y a une cause of death. Il y en a 3, mais il y en a un qui m'a pas trop connaît. Et cardiopulmonary arrest. L'autre est multiple stabbing. Et il y en a 100 milliers qui m'a donné toute la copie, tout capable de voir pour tout même. Moi aussi, on a aussi un copie, un petit peu l'information que tu as mis après sur la mort dans newspaper. Ça aussi, tout capable de regarder ta copie. On va laisser ça. On va couper. Et OK. Que derrière ça, il y a un Terminal Employment Benefit Section, un form qui nous gagne ça, je peux regarder aussi comme l'information. Certificate of death aussi. Pas besoin? Death. Tu en as?
Par contre,
Tellement beaucoup de temps, ça va quelque chose de passé. Me dit quelque chose. Sorry. Et tellement beaucoup de temps que ça va quelque chose de passé. Mon cause quelque chose qui mon connaît mon peu rappel dans mon esprit. Peut-être il y en a certains les autres détails qui m'ont manqué. Il y a beaucoup là, mais seulement pour là, si tu n'as aucune question, peut-être il y en a quelque chose qui a venu dans mon esprit, et seulement pour là, ma va arrêter là, et si tu n'as aucune question, je vais répondre.
Did your auntie want to speak first, and then maybe you have the questions at the end? Translate. Yeah.
Ou tantinha ou avec comme ça cause après on a fait toute question à la fin.
I, Florence McCann, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Merci beaucoup.
My name is Florence McCann, born Baker. I am the sister, the second sister of Marjorie Baker. And my sister and I, we were very close. In fact, we are a real close family. At this point in time, I would also like to say I am an ex-police officer. I worked in the police force for almost 17 years. And I resigned very soon after my sister's death. Due to a lot of pressure in relation to her death. I was at the time a police inspector working in the criminal investigation department and also in general police, doing general police duties. I would like to start with September the 5th of the year my sister died. As I said before, I was a police officer when she passed. Being a police officer, someone came to me and told me that certain members of the Seychelles Army were about to have a coup against the then President François René. I knew at the time that my sister was very close to the President François René. So I told her, I said, "Say," which is what I used to call her. I had heard that there's going to be a coup against the president. As I said, then he was Mr. François René. And I left it at that. And I remember vividly who the other person I told to. It was Mr. Raymond Bonté. He was a friend of mine at the time. And I remember exactly where I was standing and when he was standing when I told him the same story that I had told my sister about the coup. It was in the State House Avenue, on the pavement, close to the entrance, the old entrance, because there are two now, the old entrance to the police station at the back. Kind of, not very opposite, but close to the Dolce Vita now. He was standing there, and I told him the same story that I told my sister. And then I left it at that. Unbeknown to me, that this would have caused the death of my sister. And if during that time I was a police officer, as I said, I remember, if my memory serves me right, Ogilvy Bear, Louis, was in charge of the police station. Each ministry in the government, we had somebody in charge of us. And at the time, it was Ogilvy Bear who was in charge of the police. And after my sister's death, my life as a police officer became a hell. Like I was stripped of the desk that I had. And they gave me a desk that was used during the old days by the school children in the primary school, which was, the kids then, they used knives or blades or whatever. They scraped the desk. It was kind of like a tattered, the top of the desk was really, it was like very, it was not a nice thing. It was not like somebody was doing this to you to make you feel small. And that was one of the things. And then I also at that time was supposed to go on a course. I can't remember where exactly it was. And like, I can't remember, it was a couple of weeks before, Mr. Bailey didn't say anything to me. He just looked for somebody else, and I know the person exactly who went, the police officer. He's a friend of mine. He's still working in the police force now. And they sent him without telling me anything instead of me. And this was one or two of the things that they did to me. And I finally started looking for a job. I didn't want to resign until I had a job. So I did, and I got a job with travel services then as a tours manager, and I was in charge of the representatives and the tour guides. And that was at least a few of the things. I will not go into a lot more details, a few of the things that I went through that caused me to resign as a police officer. Now, let me go back to my deceased sister. She was, as Douglas had said, she was a very smart person, and she had a very kind heart. Like whenever any one of us wanted to go out, we didn't have money on us because the money was at the bank, she would always lend a helping hand. She was not one that would go out in the evenings like me, like I do. I go out a lot and all that. She was not like that. She was not a drinker. If she was given a glass of wine, she probably just have a taste, just so as not to cause any disappointment. She was not a drinker. She did not drink much. She, before she passed, sometimes before she passed, she told me that she was having a very difficult time at the radio station where she was working. she mentioned the name James Michel was really making her life a hell, like a living hell. And that he was gonna get rid of her from the radio station and send her back to the education department. She was not very happy about that. And she also told me that one of the comments James Michel made to her, like, you do not tutoyer avec un président. Like her, she was too close to the then President René. And she said she liked her job, but that was, he was in charge, and that was what he told her. The day after, the day that she died, it was the morning, the Saturday. It was the morning of the 6th. Yeah. I wanted to find out for myself as to, because at that time, the story about the coup against the then President René, he was not in the country, and he came back suddenly unannounced, which surprised the senior members of the Seychelles army personnel. And I wanted to find out for myself as to whether, because she never told me that she told the president this, but I wanted to find out for myself. So together with a very good friend of mine, a lady friend of mine, she said, I'll go with you, because she came to offer her condolences, and she went with me to the State House. They did not allow, when I say they, I mean the guards or whatever, the people at the gate there, did not allow her to go in through the gate. But she remained at the gate, and I went through and I saw the president myself. The person that went with me is still alive, but I'm not mentioning her name. I can in private, but I will not here. And I personally asked the president about that incident, and he said to me, yes, she did. Meaning she did let him know about the intended coup. That's the reason he came back early. And then I kind of put two and two together, and I was very scared. I remember my father always used to tell me, you put empty bottles at the window and all that after she had passed, and then after all that I've told you came back to my mind, and I thought, then I'm in real trouble. And then the trouble I was having as a police officer, then I was really, really scared. And I realized that it was not going to get any easier if I had stayed in the force, so thus the reason I handed in my resignation. It was in November of that same year. Now, if I may go back to the day that she died, that a friend of mine, I call her Barbie doll. That's not her full name, but that's how I call her. She called me at the wee hours of the morning, and I was kind of sleeping, and when I got up, she says, "Flo, where's Mama?" Meaning, "Flo, where are the kids?" Because my two older daughters, I only had two at the time. Well, I had three. The youngest one, she was very, very, very young then. But the two oldest ones were in boarding school in the UK, and they had come home for vacation. And so when Barbie doll said to me, "Flo, where Mama?" So I said, "Oh, they are sleeping." And then she went on to say, "Where's Berman?" Berman is my younger brother, because the kids were supposed to go out with him that night. But then for some reason, unknown reason, he decided not to go out that night. So I said, he was supposed to go out, but they didn't go out. He's sleeping, but I was living at Greenwich, like my nephew and my niece had said, which is not far from my parents' house. In fact, I'm still living in the same place. So her third question, she said to me, "Flo, kilime roloto se," meaning what's say, which my sister's car number. So at that point, I was angry. I said to her, "Barbie doll, you wake me up at this time of the morning just to ask me where are the kids and what's my says car number." She goes, "No, Flo," just like that. She said, "My boyfriend had just dropped me off because we went out, and the boyfriend lived at Glassy, and she lived at Fourinois. She said he had just dropped me off, and then he called me to tell me that he's seen the car with a body in it, and it looks like if it's not the mother, it's the sister. If it's not the mother, it's the daughter." Meaning, because she was living with my sister, Myrna was living with my sister. So then, instead of getting angry, I kind of, I was all ears. So I go, "Really?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "You know what? I will try and call, and then I'll call you back." So I called the house at La Louise where they were living, her, Myrna, and her. And the line was constantly busy. It was engaged for quite a long time. But I kept on. I didn't stop. I just kept on and trying to call. And eventually, she answered. Myrna Rose answered. And I asked her, "Where's there?" She goes, "I don't know, Tonton Jimmy just asked me the same question." And then I said, "Check the bedroom and check and see if the car is there," and so on. And I can't remember whether she told me she had checked or whether she did check and then came back and said, "She's nowhere to be seen and the car is not there." So at that time, I realized something was very, very wrong. And I said to her, "Make sure that all the doors are closed," because she obviously had gone I don't know whether she went out to check on the car. So I said, make sure all the doors are locked. I said, do not open it to anybody. Then I told her to call Mina, which is a friend of my sister's, a very good friend of her. And I said, call Mina and make sure that if she comes, or when she comes, it's her. Do not open the door to anybody. At that time, my youngest daughter, my second daughter, Christine, she had on something that resembled the camouflage army uniform, but it was kind of a pair of jeans, but it was like something loose that she used to sleep in. So I said to her, get rid of that. In my mind, I knew that it was not just a plain and simple death. I had already called the police station at Beauvalon, and I remember it was police officer Ryland who was working. And at first, he didn't want to tell me what had happened. I said, Ryland, I said, I'm a police inspector. This is my sister you're talking about. And I said, I want to know where is she, if she's alive or whatever. She goes, well, something very wrong has happened. And I said, is she alive? He was quiet. And then he goes, I don't think so. He really didn't want to tell me, but I really pushed him. Now then, after that, I called my father, and we gathered everybody, and I had to go down to La Louise to pick her up, and I remember I got Betty May, the oldest daughter, and I said, your mom has been involved in an accident. I didn't tell her she had passed. I said, we're going to the hospital. So I went down, I had the car, we went down, and then instead of going to the hospital, we went to the mortuary. At the morgue, when we got there, like Myrna said, she was there, and she was dead. I did not see a lot of blood. The next day, it was Dr. Hoti because at the time, Dr. Brewer was but he had gone on leave. And so Dr. Hoti was the one that performed the autopsy on her. And I was there. And Dr. Hoti told me, your sister had 7 stabbed wounds, out of which 5 were fatal. I also had the opportunity to have a look at the body, and I will describe what I saw. In her hand, I can't remember whether it was the right or the left hand now, but it was in her hand. Here, there was a big, nasty gash, like very deep, but there was no blood. And it was very deep that it had touched the bone. To me, it was like somebody came to you with a sharp instrument, like, I'm going to stab you, and she grabbed hold of whatever, and the person trying to pull the instrument up, and she tried to hold on to it, and this must have caused, my opinion, this must have caused a gash in her hand. It was a nasty gash. And also, here, the jugular vein, she had stab wounds in the heart. She had stab wounds in the lungs. And they tried to sever the back here, you know, the cervical bones at the back here. The person who did this, he must have known, like, all the points that to stab somebody they're gonna. But what they didn't know was that in between the bones there's a cartilage. And instead of going straight onto the cartilage, they went on the bone. This is why the 2 stab wounds did not kill her. It was the one at the back and the one in the hand. Otherwise, all the one in the neck and the heart and the lungs, they were all fatal. That was that. But after I had heard about her death, that was at the early hours before my visit to the president's office and all that, as a result of what Mina told me after she came to the house, Mina, as a result of what she told me then, I decided to call the police officer in charge of the investigations in CID. He is still alive. And together with, can't remember whether Banan then was an inspector or whether he was a sergeant. I'm saying Banan because he's dead. He's not alive. They went to Glassy as a result of what I told them. They went to Glassy, to Douglas's residence. What I was told by the officers when they arrived there, when they got Douglas, he was drunk. And whatever they did there, I don't know, they got him out. But when they got to the place by the main road, because they had parked the police vehicle close to where my sister's car had been parked. And he said, when they got him in the police vehicle, he said, well, as they went by, before they got the police vehicle, Douglas must have seen my sister's car. So he said, Douglas's neck was like, he had a shocking look on his face, like he was looking back, like he knew the car. Like he was looking back, I don't know, with a like question mark on his face.
Can I just clarify, why did you send them to Douglas's house? Was that?
I just said, as a result of what Mina told me. As a result of what Mina told me. Because I remember we were sitting at my sister's house. So we were all trying to figure out. I remember vividly, Mina said, now wait a minute. Let me tell you all. So Mina told us this. So if Mina comes here, she will tell you exactly what she knows. She said, let me tell you something. Then she said about the phone call that her conversation between her and my sister. I wasn't there. Like my sister had told her, Douglas had been calling her, bothering her, wanted to meet her. So she told Mina to tell Douglas, thank you, that she was going to my father's. It was either my father's had something at my father's, that she couldn't meet him. But then Mina said each and every time she called the number my sister gave her, she said it was that big voice. She said it didn't sound, Mina know Douglas very well because they were all friends. It didn't sound like him, but it was the voice that answered was like, didn't allow her to speak or what she wanted to say. She can tell you what was told to her. I can't remember now what she said. And not Myrna, Mina. Mina, M-I-N-A. Mina, she's a lady, she lives at La Louise. She is a friend of my sister. She's the one that came at the wee hours of the morning after, yeah.
She's still alive.
She is 100% alive.
And she's ready to come. Yes, it is her, and she came home.
She came to
home,
her at
yes.
the house.
That's
yes.
that's
so
I
together with
that.
her, we all went to the morgue.
Yes.
That early hours of that morning.
Yeah. Okay. She came with her daughter to you in your home, in your place, no? Yes. Yeah.
Say it again?
I remember that.
Yeah, she came with her daughter.
Yeah, you put it here. Yeah.
The CIA,
Pardon?
the name of the CIA.
Oh.
It will be name, complete name.
Mina? Her name is Wilhelmina Louise of La Louise.
The name.
She came with her daughter, Marie-France, who has now passed away. She lives at La Louise.
CID name.
No.
Okay. The name. You don't recall the name?
Because in the police force, we used to call everybody the surname. So I know their names, but right now, I'm not young, so I can't remember.
Thank you.
I know the names, but I just cannot remember. If you cannot read it, I'll write it in block. The second one is still alive. He was the officer in charge of the investigation. And I also remember the officer that went to the scene to take photographs. He was, I can't remember his title then, but Mr. Paul Bédier. And I remember I talked to him, like one-on-one, and he said to me during the course of doing his fingerprinting, he not with the naked eye, but however whatever he used, there was sand on the legs or something, but you couldn't see this, like somebody go in the sand, you can see the sand, but if you look at her, you wouldn't see the sand on the leg. I'm not talking about the feet, on the leg. I don't know whether she was pushed or I don't know what happened, but for some reason, she did not die in that car because for somebody with so many stab wounds and for her hand, there was no blood, it was all purple. And the blood that was in the car was nothing.
The glass looking back.
Say it again?
We stopped, when you were stopped to give the name, you were talking about Douglas. Can we continue now?
When they were taking
Yes.
him
You were
out of
looking
the,
back, yes.
when he looked back.
Yes.
Yeah, he said the way that was Banan, I think, who told me that. I can't remember whether the other one told me as well, but I remember vividly, Banan told me, he said, when he looked back, he was looking back at the car, at my sister, it was a white car. I think it was a Lancer then. It was a white Lancer. And he, like somebody who's in shock, is this the car or whatever? You know, he turned like that. That's how he showed me, like, and then until, as they were driving off, the car went out of sight, then he turned back. And also, when Baby Doll said to me, what's my sister's car number, she told me the number. She said, Flo, I remember says car number is da-da-da-da-da. She told me the exact number. Because I know, but then everything was like, it was like topsy-turvy, and I just could not think straight.
From your experience in the police and from what you know personally of the case, do you think the verdict that Douglas was guilty is a correct verdict?
If, as a police officer, if 3 of us would go out to to break into somebody's house, I stand at the gate to keep a lookout as to whether anybody would come so that I would alert the people inside. Even if nobody comes, I did not do anything, but I was just there in case somebody comes. Nobody comes, but me just being there, I'm as guilty. I'm as guilty. This is my experience as a police officer. From my belief, he lured my sister out of, like he said, I know he lured her because she was not one that I said that would go out in the evening, that would go out drinking. And I have another piece to add regarding the car and my sister. When my sister was still alive, I think Douglas was trying to kill time. So from what I understand, the car was in several places. Also, this I was told by someone, which I would not mention the name, but I can write the name down. She was working at Radio Seychelles at the time. And she said my sister came to her and said, Douglas has got the key to my car, and he would not give it back to me. So the lady said, do you want me to call the police? And my sister said, no, I will talk to him myself, and hopefully I'll get the key back, or something to that effect.
In his deposition, he does accept that he lured Marjorie to the meeting,
Oh, another piece also I wanted to add. Sorry, you go ahead.
and that he had to sort of go around and stop and to get the time to pass until the appointed hour. I wish he had said who he had the appointment with.
I remember my father was still alive. Someone, I will not mention any name, but from what I was told, this could be true or not, I don't know because I don't have any proof of that. Someone brought this letter to my father. I've seen the letter, I read it. And it really disturbed my parents. A few of us read it. I know my brother is Rolly, Jimmy, and my one sister that was here, because the one, Judy was in the States, but Simon was here. And we all read it. For some reason, someone must have made a copy, I don't know who, of the letter. And my father kept talking about it because in the letter, I remember vividly, it said, Douglas said that they offered him 50,000 rupees so that he could bring her.
It was a letter from Douglas.
Yeah. But he didn't, if my memory serves me right, he crossed out the name of whoever had offered him the money so that if he was to bring her out, which he did, but apparently I don't think he ever got the money. And then also in that letter, he said he cannot say who did it because they had threatened to kill his children. I cannot remember if the name of because I cannot remember the name of the children were in that particular letter.
In this one.
That one, I don't know about. I've seen it, I've read it, but this is a copy, just part of the letter, because I tore the letter. It disturbed my father so much, and I tore the letter. Also, I would like to add, on one of the days that Douglas went for trial at the Supreme Court on the first floor, when he came, he was not in the box. I can't remember whether it was before they brought him down to go back and someone asked him, well, who did it, Douglas? Douglas turned and said out loud, it was not under oath. Let me make it clear. It was the veranda. He said, go and ask James Michel. This, he said it very loud and very clear.
And James Michel was president at that time?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, he wasn't.
I think it was still President Albert René.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I don't think he was a president. But he said, go and ask him. That was the name he mentioned.
I mean, we will ask him, James Michel, for any evidence that he can give us in relation to this case.
Yeah.
I mean, effectively, Douglas has implicated him through his letter. That letter implicates him as a participant, in the crime. So Mr. Michel has a right to answer that allegation and to put forward, his view on it. So we will contact him and ask him to ask that. I mean, I was just interested, because you were a police officer, were you able to follow the investigation, or did you?
I did not. I did not want to get involved simply because it was my sister, and I did not want to do anything on the contrary to what the officers were supposed to anyone to give orders, anyone to do anything, because the officer, he was a competent officer to me, according to me, the one that was in charge of the investigation. So, but the only information I gave him was about after what Mina told me.
So, did you tell him how you had told your sister about this information you heard about the army going to stage a coup while Renee was away?
I can't remember. I probably did. I can't remember, because what I remember vividly is telling my sister and telling Raymond Bonte. Those two people I remember very well. But then after she had passed, I could have told the police. By then, I'm sure, being a police officer, I told everything I knew, everything I had heard. But if I say I told him right now, I probably wouldn't be telling the truth. I cannot remember.
Just normal. And Raymond Bonte, when you told him, because apparently he was one of the persons that were going to implement this coup, how was he when you told him? Was he surprised, shocked, wanting to know where you got the information, or
No,
stony-faced?
When I told him, he was a friend. He was a friend. I used to go to his grandmother's place. We used to with a friend of mine called Jacqueline Pierre. She's now dead. I remember one day Jacqueline came to me and said, I just met Raymond, and I told him, I said, Raymond, they said you killed Marjorie. And Jacqueline told me that Raymond gave her the side look like that. Jacqueline, 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 like that 3 times. And she said, I was so scared, the way he looked at me and the way what he said. But then we didn't think anything of it, because I did not know. You were hearing a whole lot of stories, but every time there were 3 names that came all the time in relation with her death. That came. There was Lucas, there was Monte, there was and Holy Mary. And also occasionally you would hear the name James Michel. But I was being victimized by Ogilvy Bear. Because from what I understood, I might be wrong, I don't know, he was kind of the mastermind behind the death. How true this is, I have no clue. But this, you know how people speculate a lot of things, people talk and all that, and you hear a lot of stories, but I don't know. But I knew what he did to me. I kept quiet because this was very disturbing to us all, the family and all that. I even, at one time, I said to my father, I said, Papa, it's been quite some time, as it says, now gone. I said, why don't we just let it be, and then whoever did it, one day, they will be judged. And his answer to me was, if I was young, dis-moi, si moi ti zen, moi ti pour revenge la mort mon petit. Just like that. But he was old, and my sister's death aged my parents like 10 years.
And when you went to see Albert Rene, he couldn't tell you, he didn't know who was involved in the death? He didn't give you any...
ask.
No.
He didn't volunteer because I knew him. He was somebody that you couldn't really question him. From my experience, you couldn't question him. And all I wanted to know as to whether what I told my sister, whether he knew, whether he was told, and he confirmed that. That was the only purpose I went there that morning. And my sister's death was announced over radio stations at 6 in the morning. And it was all over the BBC and all that. But my friend who waited for me at the gate told me that when she was there, Oli Marie came down and asked her, "What are you doing there?" She told him she came with me, and because of what had happened. And he said to her, "What happened?" Like he pretended that he had not heard, he didn't know. And this was, I'm talking about like maybe 10 in the morning. Almost everybody knew. Almost everybody knew.
Who actually found the body? Who was the first person who saw
I
and
cannot
reported it?
remember. I cannot remember. Maybe the my friend Bobby Doll's boyfriend then. He might be in a better position to tell you what happened.
Could we have his name then?
I haven't given you the name. I can.
Was there any mention about Inspector Ina?
Ina?
Yeah.
No, no. Well, at least nobody mentioned his name to me. The death of my sister was a real shock. It was very unexpected. It was a real shock. I think I stayed in shock for a long time. I couldn't shed a single tear. I didn't cry. I just couldn't. You can't cry if you don't, you know. I just couldn't. Tears wouldn't come. I just couldn't. The only time I cried when she was being buried, when they were throwing the dirt. Then, like, you know, it comes to mind, like, she's really gone, you know? And this is when it kind of dawned on me that, you know, she's really gone. And there's not one single day that will go by that I don't think of her.
Not one single day. But you try to live your life, and it is what it is. Like Myrna said, when we thought there was this opportunity, at first I just didn't want to come because it kind of, it brings back a lot of old wounds, and it's not pleasant. And then I realized that I had to come. People don't know what I knew about the coup and all that. People don't know. I'm the only one that knew. I'm telling you that so people can hear and what I knew, what I said and who I said it to. And maybe if I hadn't, she probably wouldn't be dead.
I mean, I don't think you can, say that really. You don't know. I mean, in a normal situation, you can say things and people aren't going to be killed because of it. So I just think it's whether or not that was the cause, we don't know completely that was the cause, but she had information. But in any sane society, that would not lead to that result. So I don't think you can feel that you bore any responsibility for it. One question I did have, because you knew Douglas, you all knew Douglas, did anyone ever go and visit him when he was in the prison or seek to communicate with him at all?
He was in
No.
Seychelles.
Here, you're in the UK.
No.
You were in the UK.
And
Yeah.
when he
no.
was in cells, it was, like Myrna said, everything, you start hearing things later on, and at first you felt this hatred because you know what happened. But then, as time went by, I felt like, you know what? This has happened. If he did what he did, or he did what he had to, or whatever, then if he was ever to come and say good morning to, I would greet him. If he was ever to ask me, like, pertinent information or whatever, I would answer him. This is how I felt. This is why I went to my father and I said, it's time to forgive. It's time to forget. It's easy. It's not easy for you to forgive and forget at the same time when something like that has happened. But me being a Christian, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I sometimes feel, you know what? People do you wrong. It's not for me to judge. But nobody goes out unpunished. One day, in whatever form, it might come direct to you, to your kids, your grandkids, or whatever, something will come back. Because as they say, karma is a plus-size bitch. Excuse the expression, but it will come back.
But after Douglas came out of prison, did he talk to you? Did you have any communication at all? Did he talk?
No. The only time my youngest daughter, I remember she had an auntie. She's passed now. The name is Alexina. Alexina loved her a lot. She used to come and get her and all that. She told me one day she was with Auntie Alexina, that's what she called her. She was standing close to, what's that building called? Where the ex-Pirates Arms was, close to the Central Bank. And Douglas went by. Apparently he knew Alexina. And he said, because when this happened, Ashley she was born in 85, in February 85. And when my sister died, it was September of 86. But we will always talk about my sister and all that. I guess she heard a lot, and maybe she remembered. I don't know what she remembered. But she said she remember one day Douglas came and asked Alexina, who's this little girl? just like that, because Alexandra didn't have any kids then. So Ashley, she said, she answered, she said, I'm Ashley Baker. And she said, she remembered when she said that, Douglas had a really surprised look on his face, and he stopped, because I guess Douglas remember Ashley and Diane, which is their niece. They, when he used to come at my sister's place, the two children, they were there because they were like 3 months apart in age. So he knew them, but then they had grown up, so he couldn't really remember who they were. And when he asked, when she said, I'm Ashley Baker,
Before he was pardoned, was there any contact with the family about the decision the president was going to take to pardon him?
I can't remember. I don't know whether he was pardoned.
Yeah, he was pardoned.
He was?
Yeah.
I don't even know who was. I don't even remember who was the president when he was pardoned.
I remember he was
But what I remember and what I will tell you, I remember when he came out. If my memory serves me right, I think James Michel, either he was the minister or he was the president. I cannot remember what year he came out or whatever. But I remember when he passed, James Michel, I think, was the president then when he passed. And he got more. He became more famous then, as I guess you would when Minister Sino died or Minister Ada died or whatever. His name was mentioned over Radio Seychelles or SBC, whatever, 1 million times. I am not making up stories. You can go back and you will hear. But then a lot of things come to mind, you know, but I guess unanswered questions.
At this stage, we don't have any more questions for you, but we will follow up on the leads that you've given us, and we will probably come back to you for some clarifications. Your file will be with the investigator, and you can always check it and see what steps we've taken. And if you think there's something we should do that we haven't done, when you look at your file, just let the investigator know. But we have no more questions for you at this stage unless you have any questions for us.
At this particular time, I cannot remember. Nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind right now.
If you do remember, just be in touch. If there's anything you remember you think is significant, or sometimes after you've appeared, people come and give you other information that they haven't given you previously. If any of that happens, it would be great if you keep in contact with us and share that. But thank you very much for coming. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Merci beaucoup de nous. Mon petit peu ça envie de demander s'il y en a aucun du monde, vu que je connais le public peut écouter, s'il y en a aucun du monde qui connaît l'information en relation avec la mort de ma maman, si vous êtes capables, pas hésiter pour vous venir devant, pour venir donner. Merci.
Here, we would like to say a very big thank you for having us here today.
It's our privilege to to have you here. So thank you for that. And we just repeat your call. If anyone does have any information, if they could provide it to the Commission, you can do so on a confidential basis. We would be very happy to receive it. But thank you very much for coming, and we will be in touch with you, and you can always check our progress as we go along. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will now adjourn and resume in closed session. And so we will be in open session tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. So we're adjourned. Thank you.
All rise.